Hello everybody. Thanks to a friend who is much more technically inclined than I am, I have got, gasp, a computer running Windows 10, recording in high quality, or at least higher than 480p. Today's game, which is the last in Season A of the 2019 Twilight Struggle Reddit lead, organised by Shaq. It turns out this is a dead rubber for Siddhartha, so he can throw it to me in order to avoid my eventual relegation from a tier of the league I was vastly, vastly underqualified for. But you never know. If I drop, then at least I have something greater to fight for than getting mullered by people better than me. On this occasion, Siddhartha is slightly better than me. That's sicfreatcrustulum on Reddit. Same person. Anyway, we're a few minutes early, but he looks like he's online, so we will dive right in and crack on. I am the US of A. He is orange at the moment, so we'll give him his hour clock from when he's online, because like I said, we logged in a few minutes early. Alright, so Sid's online and we'll set up. Let's have a quick look at our hand. Let's drop the chat for now. So, D-Star gets held unless blockaded. Martial plan setup looks like the obvious one. Want to ditch Aza scoring as quickly as possible. So, he may purge me, but I didn't have defectors anyway. If he does purge me, I am in big trouble, because I don't have a 4-up card. So ditching Asia scoring before domination is a good key. Okay, so he'll wipe me out of Israel and take 2 out of France. So Marshall is gone, Suez is gone. He will be targeting the Middle East then. Most likely. So hold D-Style unless blockaded, ditch Asia scoring before domination there. Try and space Korean War. A big start for him. Let's ditch Asia scoring immediately. The Imperative will be creeping back into the Middle East through Turkey. Although you do well to put an op in there right now. Instead he looks to space, and he does succeed. So we're going to use Eastern European unrest to walk back into Syria and reclaim Europe. So we'll start a wee coup war in the Middle East. No. I said a coup war. Oh dear. 50-50 rather than 1 in 3. It fails at least. That's something. So, Middle Eastern control is looking like a real threat. No 1 again, please. Better. So we'll space Korean War. I do not get off to space. He gives me containment for my last AR. Takes his own domination. So we'll have a 2-op coup on Iran to protect Europe as much as anything. So I do get Europe scoring and captured Nazi. Purging is a good option. Defectors is a better one because then I can defend against de Gaulle and socialist governments. And leave myself a bunch of ops. So that's defect. And Vietnam revolts, that's another nice one to block. I do need to push into Malaysia. You may go for Panama first. Since the odds are about 50-50, slightly better than 50-50, he's holding decolonisation. Needing to push into Malaysia before DEFCON drops is a key consideration. Because of the weird board position, he's got a bit to chew over. He doesn't have an obvious early war play. So coups Panama is step 1. But if he coups Panama, I could consider giving him the mill ops and make sure I consolidate into Thailand. I might still have an opportunity to coup after that. Whereas he's going straight for decol. And he's doing the classic going around the problem. So let's use Romanian abdication before independent reds to coup Lao. Trying to telegraph that I don't hold Europe this turn per se, just to throw him off the scent. If he doesn't succeed in flipping Lao... Ah, clever. Well then. Duck and cover. Grabs him that. So I will coup Iran. That goes quite well. So I want to push one into Israel, take Afghanistan, begin racing in Asia on country count, keep red scared to shore up France if he does try and tap. He needs Indo-Pak war to get his Milops this turn. Right. We'll cash Europe scoring first. Because what I don't want is de Gaulle or something. After playing Red Scare, if he de Gaulle's me, I can't then recover France. And I look like a massive idiot. He's giving me the China card. And he's overprotecting, so that's fairly good for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Red Scare to take Afghanistan for the Veep and take some one-stab regions to level up country count. He events blockade, so we give him D-style back. So we're going to event captured Nazi scientist. And he spaces NORAD. He succeeds. So we will tap Iraq, so if I get Middle Eastern scoring I can headline it for 0 VP. I do not. So let's consider what he has. He has got 5-year plan, so he can ditch a scoring card. He's got Middle Eastern scoring. He's got NASA, which he'll play for ops. He's got NATO. He's got Indo-Pakistani War. And he's got the Cambridge... Oh no, I've got the Cambridge 5, that's fine. So I should hold socialist governments, the Cambridge 5, independent Reds, de Gaulle leads France, and the rest are reshuffles. So, purging him looks like the most attractive thing in the world, doesn't it? Because that leaves me 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 usable ops, plus the China card. So he uses that to flip Vietnam, which snags him domination. That's sneaky. Cheeky. Couldn't do a lot about that. That was nicely done. So he knows that I'm going to coup Egypt, and then he'll play NASA. But that doesn't do anything for him, even if he events NASA. So that's a good way of making NASA get evented. We'll play into Libya. This will basically be a fairly boring back and forth between me and him over obviously I'm not eventing independent Reds with Warsaw Pact not evented yet. So key considerations, I guess, are fight for the Middle East as long as possible. It's helpful that he's purged. So I should be able to keep tapping and pushing, hopefully. Try and space Fidel. Repair socialist governments, hold de Gaulle. Oh. My Wi-Fi appears to have gone. And I'm back. Sorry for the brief intercession. So he gives me NATO. Okay, so... Oh, he's going to 5-year plan the Middle East. That's fine. Understandable. We will at least continue to press the Middle East. So yeah, Space Fidel, Cambridge 5 into Panama and maybe Colombia for the AR-7. He doesn't get one off. So I will space Fidel and hope to prevent him spacing a second. That's good. Event for the Milops. He fails. So we'll see what he does and then repair the damage accordingly. Try and protect a little against brush war. So AR6, I think I'm going to play into Panama and Colombia. Okay, that changes plans. I will use Cambridge 5 to break Botswana. Mid-war time. Junta doesn't drop DEFCON, so I might use CIA created. While it's sad to remove it from the deck, the key consideration is I can't lower DEFCON any other way. The only risk is he plays We Will Bury You. And I do at least get to see his entire hand. There's nothing strong to salt, so I think I'm going to go with that. I see no other bold play. Ah, great, Europe scoring comes out. Maybe he was hoping for a cheeky defect. Let's see his whole hand. He has got ABM. He's got Truman. He's got OAS. That's a nasty card for him. Colonial Rear Guards, Sadat. He's got a handful of blue, hasn't he? But he's got D-Style. That's a shame. He's got Latin American Death Squads as well. So. Okay, enough of that. We'll coup first. And do at least get one off. He hands me 5 points for Europe. The question is, will he destyle before ABM? I at least have Junta. I can space Liberation Theory, Theology, and have a handful of ops. Flipping Angola is a consideration. I'm not going to quite get to arms race. So while it's nice to have complete information, it's sad to ditch CIA at this point. Here's D-Stone first. So Nigeria. Yep. So we will... Will we junta first? That also actually invites him to ABM there. Awkward. What we'll do first is flip Angola. Begin to put some pressure on in Africa. I want him to use ABM treaty. I want him to use ABM in Africa so that I can then use junta in South America and get a foothold. I must event special relationship with NATO N. Okay, savvy. In which case I keep junta for my headline. Try and get space before him. It fails. That is a bummer. So it gives me the 2 Veeps for Nixon. Here it comes. I mean, that's a result for me because he doesn't try and flip Angola or try and realign me. So I can live with that. I think I might shore up Panama. ABM's gone. He's got 4 cards left. He's holding OAS, Sadat, Truman, and Colonial Rear Guards. So actually Angola's safe right now. So we'll start shoring up against Southeast Asia scoring. Since I've got a few extra ops. So he's looking like he'll hold OAS. Truman's safe. Space Colonial Rearguards. Event Sadat. So let's event special relationship. Pop them in Portugal to shore up Italy against... Oh no, I don't need shore Italy against brush war because NATO is in. So at the moment, it's fairly well poised. He's got Africa and South America. I've got a lot of the early war areas. Right, we're going to event De Gaulle first and get it out of the way. So Space Colonial Rearguards. Unless he's feeling bold and thinks he can... Well, I mean, he can't repair the damage for OS. He has to Space Colonial Rearguards. Plus he's got the 50-50 shot at 2 VP. Yep, standard. He fails as well. So what is my AR7 crisis? Punch a hole in Algeria. And overprotect Panama, although brush war's a risk, and I'm going to be juntering. So let's pop one in Colombia. So, we will bury you and Lone Gunman. Nice. Thanks so much. Assyria can do a lot of damage. John Paul's good at the moment without Warsaw in. Puppet Government's less help. OPEC's only worth 2 VP at the moment, so it might be playable. But Junta remains the obvious headline. So let's go with a Junta. So he does do some damage in Africa. So we're looking for a nice big coup in Brazil, not a 1 in 3 fail. And we get a 1 in 3 fail. If I'm lucky, he'll miss LMV me. So spacing, we will bury you. But I could play the China card and claim it back with a Suri. Now, what we're going to do here is use the China card to flip Angola and take South Africa. But I'm going to claim the China card back later in the term. Eventing John Paul is always sassy. Korean War's a bit gross. Getting Alliance of Progress off for 1 VP is always nice. So I can't prevent Africa domination with 3 ops. Unless I only overprotect Angola once. Which I'll do. So the other option is to hold We Will Bury You and Lone Gunman through the shuffle and space Korean War. He gets Brush War. Massive, massive flip. So now we'll go for the OPEC 2VP coup on Botswana and hope for a big roll. We don't. So that's very bad. Looks like African control is a realistic prospect now. That is bad. Bad, bad, bad. So we use puppet governments to try and stuff. So we get South America scoring as well. We're going to space Korean War. And succeed. So there's small mercy. The realigning begins. We are going to event John Paul. Because obviously Europe control is a very real possibility. He spaces a VOA. And we will take the China card back off him. So we can ask not Africa and Central America scoring Koguma blah 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 blah. That's quite nice. So with Liberation Theology and ABM Treaty gone, Central America scoring is quite nice. So let's headline that. And AR1 other stuff. And he's on Brezhnev this turn. So, let's have a quick look at what he did there. So do I take a coup, or do I event Lone Gunman and get it out the deck? I think I just take a straight coup, don't I? So let's try and take Venezuela and start making inroads. I do not. But the longer I leave Ask Not, the more he might missile envy me and drop the ball. He's not, surely can't be that stupid, but you never know. I'll hold nuclear subs with CIA GOM. So let's event Ask Not now. Ditch Africa scoring. We will bury you. Lone Gunman. Kitchen Debates is currently not active in the US 1 VP, and Quagmire. We'll see if he missile envies me now. Che's currently the space option. Save emit until next turn. Camp David doesn't do a ton. Willy Brandt underprotected, so I need to do something with that op. Panama Canal breaks Venezuela. So spacing Che is attractive. He does get OAFs off, well done him. I need to follow suit, but at least I don't need to worry about one small step, and I'd really like to make this. I do, no peeking on either side. Cards left in the deck, 11. So I can't event emit this turn and try and get Lone Gunman back out. Let's try and take Malaysia. He does have you an intervention, so he gets an extra VP. And he gets grain sales away, well done him. So he's taking South Korea. He's going to start building some mill ops. Pop one in Taiwan as well. Muslim revolution is still a looming risk in the Middle East, but at least I've got Sudan to get me back into Egypt. Muslim revolution is not very appealing because of the configuration of my non-Middle East pieces, Sudan, Afghanistan, and the fact I'm in Iran, Iraq, and Saudi means he can't actually clear me out of any one jurisdiction easily. So South America and Africa are deeply problematic. We'll play Camp David, just to add a bit of pressure in the Middle East. Plus Arab-Israeli war's not playable anymore, it's a bonus. This is largely going to come down to whose scoring cards come out. If I can omit Africa and South America, that makes a hell of a difference. Blimey, nice big card to finish off the round. So I will give him the China card. Reason being he was going to have cultural diplomacy anyway. And the other one will just overprotect against socialist governments. He's got culture, he's got, sorry, brain isn't working. He has got, so the old Purge headline with Bear Trap to follow might be attractive here. He's got a risk of socialist governments. If I Red Scare, I don't have a lot of playable ops, which is a risk. Repair socialist government, score Southeast Asia. But the Scare Purge Trap is very appealing. Decall back. So let's see if we can work out his likely hand. I've got Southeast Asia scoring. I've got Bear Trap. He has Portuguese Empire crumbles. I don't think he'll be eventing that with 9-0 in Angola. I have Muslim Revolution. He does have Cultural Revolution and Flower Power. So he's got some 3-op cards. I've got Panama Canal returned. He's got one small step, so I need to be very careful about that. And I've got a mitt. So he's well aware. The question is, does he also have Asia scoring? Well, he wants to keep me busy over there, doesn't he? Let's do that for now, because I'm holding Southeast Asia scoring. he's got Africa. Nicely done. So if he's got South America scoring as well, I'm the one in dire straits going into late war. It's fine for now. Let's get rid of Southeast Asia scoring for nothing. At this rate, I might hold Bear Trap because we know he's holding a lot of high op cards. We'll straight event Panama Canal returned to riposte there. He should go for a realignment here. AR7 Bear Trap's an option, gives me the headline as well. Kind of forget that it's USA. Silly. So with 4 cards, we think he's holding Cultural Revolution, Flower Power, Portuguese Empire, Crumbles, and another. Let's see what he does with SocGov before deciding how to repair. And we want to make sure we stay up on Costa Rica to stop him pincer hitting Panama. So that will do for now. Well, Fidel's still in place, so I can live with that. Let's use a mitt now. So let's ditch Europe's... Oh, no, Europe's going, duh. Cambridge 5 is a meaningless card to both parties in late war. So let's ditch Central America scoring to reduce variance. And the rest I can keep in the deck cluttering it up to some extent. Definitely want Europe grain sales. Cambridge 5 is just a neutral 2-op, and Latin American death squads might be handy to me. And at the very least is a neutral 2-op card. And the less I pull out, the less likely I am to run up against Lee Harvey Oswald. So my options are Space, Muslim Revolution, and hope to get ahead, and then bear trap him on the headline, or bear trap him. I think I want to space it. Big money. Oh, no whammies. Okay, we're into late war. I pulled war games. That is a bonus. I am going to bear trap him. Salt's still available though, so I have to be wary. Yeah, he pulled Junta. Not bad. And he pulls VOA straight out of the bag. Nice work. Let's level up Asia as well. We'll see whether he salts that. That's the big risk. So he gives me a Middle Eastern scoring. That's nice. Right, I'm going to go for a soft tap on Colombia. Am I? Maybe I'll go for Nicaragua. That's better. That threatens a realign as well. If he doesn't immediately respond, I'll cash arms race. Marine barracks bombing is less of a concern now. I want to kind of dangle the carrot of him using the China card to take Japan for control, and then hitting him with US-Japan. The problem with nuclear subs is while it would be nice to event it and try and clean up the map, he's now not able to space grain sales. He kind of needs to event one small step. That will keep him busy. DEFCON's less likely to be a concern this game, from the way things are shaking up. Okay, so arms race will not happen. So, Take a 1 in 3 gamble on Korean War. Or use a different card. Let's event Marine Barracks first. Get it out the deck. See what he wants to do with it. I guess I want those straight back in. That's boring, but neutral. Obviously Jordan is my outlet to domination there for the end of the game. So at the end of the game, with 4 ops, I can break South America and Africa control. So if I dominate Europe and the Middle East and split, or prevent domination in Asia, it's not split by any means, is it? Whew. He's actually quite ahead of the board. Well done him. I was not paying attention. Lebanon and Haiti. Yeah, fine. Understood. Options. Let's continue to assert myself in the Middle East. I don't know, this is kind of where it breaks down. So, comments welcome. Why am I shoring up a place that's already scored? Why am I creating crises elsewhere? I may be asking the right questions, but doing the wrong thing. So, do comment freely. I expect him to event one small step. Yep, that's that gone. So he can discard a held card. Defcon's not a risk for him. Just going to take Japan with US-Japan. Little dull. So you can use the China card to flip for domination. Spacing NORAD going for the 4 VP. He fails. Now the 1 in 6. It succeeds. Brutal. So my AR7 will need to shore up Italy and West Germany against the Reformer now. That's disheartening. And eventing nuclear subs is attractive because you can now discard a held card. So there you go. Takes all sorts. Decent OPEC score there. Oh. Interesting. Is he going to try and salt his way to victory? I at least have terrorism, but Aldrich James is massively problematic. But grain has to be the headline. Could be worse. That's nice. Well, this has turned into a game of early war versus mid-war, hasn't it? With Calgon, do I go missile envy is the question first. I think I'm going to ditch Asia scoring and let him offer him the realign. Because I want to play Lone Gunman if he leaves Defcon at 3. Which he doesn't do. So let's missile envy him now. Because I want to try and pull Aldrich off him if he has it. I get Glasnost instead. So let's use that to pump Venezuela. He riposts. I riposte. Bless you. There's terrorism him. Cut his hand down further. That's a bummer. Let's go for... Because is he going to play anything? CIA's gone, grain sales is gone. So there's no Defcon droppers. Tear down this wall. Let's have 2 cracks at Venezuela. Even better. I get Aldrich Ames, can space the Reformer, could space Quagmire, Iranian Hostage Crisis Nasty. A lot of space options, that's a bummer. So Indo-Pak War or 5-year plan look quite appealing. No way of dropping DEFCON. So what do we think? Let's shorten his hand. Oh! Well, it'll be interesting to see if I lose the game by 5 VP now. Because Indo-Pak War was another option. But with Asia scoring gone, it seemed less appealing. That's a serious bummer. But that is a nice bonus, especially with Latin American death squads. Right, is the game up? I think it probably is. So what are we spacing? The Reform is easier to repair than Iran. So oh yes, but I don't get to the 4 VP space. And the Reformer is not easier with USSR at 6, of course. Oh boy. Let's start with that. So he's allowed to coup Costa Rica. Lads is in play. That's a bummer. But he fails anyway. So Middle Eastern Europe domination is not going to offset all of his stuff. So the game is actually pretty much his. Or almost entirely his, in fact. Doesn't need to get fancy. I think I am in serious trouble. Let's start by using Quagmire to realign him out of Mexico. That's good. Doesn't hurt. Doesn't do anything right. So now I'm using the Reformer and Iranian hostage crisis if worst comes to worst. I think this game has gotten away from me. Well done, Sid. See you in the second tier next season. But yes, feedback welcome. It's always good playing stronger opposition. Oh, goody. Well, we'll stop him doing any more in Europe. And I won't get any more turns. So, VPs do it in the end. Well, thanks all for watching. Feedback welcome. There's lots to learn there. Yes, I will upload. Please do talk about it and see what you think. Thanks for watching.